Yeah. Oh. Am I supposed to do that? Can I take a charger?
That's what they're there for.
Oh shoot! I forgot my good pen at home.
What do you mean I?
What time is it? Did the bell ring?
No, I didn't.
No. Then why are you telling me who my phone was? Oh, so I put S on all of them. Okay, so I got that one right. This one was the one that I didn't know.
Because you messed up hydroxide.
Well, because I got that.
Because the thing is, everything other than the ones in group one precipitate hydroxide.
I passed.
Yeah, that's.
Darn it, that means I get to teach with it. Oh. Oh. Well,
Oh, I forgot my red pen at home.
you're gonna do quizzes in there.
I thought she was gonna get the charge of it and no. Okay.
So,
So otherwise, I got it right.
here's the thing, I don't know because there's an interface where you can use Google Type, but I don't know if Google Form doesn't use data. You know what I mean? Where
You're gonna add this to that one.
Yeah, that's just so
Yeah. Those are
right, right.
Then she made her bad.
Yeah, I know, that was. It's like, okay, show us how to make it. There's a way you can import them, but naturally Google doesn't use that format.
I always said that when I was doing this.
I was like,
You're gonna add this though.
boy, I
Whoa!
You have to use Google as an external way.
He's an orange. I feel like he's just overwhelmed.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our last Monday together this trimester, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing today? Get to watch the bouncing ball of weather this week.
Oh, yeah.
Bouncing.
I'm so
It's
excited.
60 today, 50 today, 60 tomorrow, then 26 on Wednesday.
Oh God. I needed to drop back.
Then it goes back up, and then for the weekend it's supposed to be in the 50s
I
again.
cannot deal with
It's all
this.
your fault.
I know. I control the weather. I said, weather, I want you to do this, and they did.
Yeah.
So you can blame me. I'm okay. I
but
can take that. I got no problem with that. No problem whatsoever.
It's like how we literally.
All right. Undo the format settings.
I don't call fun.
On what world is not 20 degrees cold?
It's not that cold.
It's not that cold. Why are you trying to be cool right now? You're trying to be a middle
I'm
school
not.
boy that
No.
shows up in shorts and
No,
tank
people
top.
always are like,
It's not
I'm
that cool though.
always like, it's cold, and everyone's like, it's not cold. People do that all the time.
I would say 30 degrees, not cold. 20 degrees, freezing. That's
Wait. You go from not cold to freezing.
No,
10
I'm
degrees,
just saying, like, he's saying that 20 degrees isn't cold.
I said it isn't.
It isn't
that
bad
cold.
if it's not windy.
Like,
I
it's
said
not.
it isn't that cold.
It's not that cold if it's not windy.
There are 3 layers.
I hate to tell you this, he's right. So,
Like I start disliking the cold at around.
all right, ladies and gentlemen, take out your solubility charts real quick. I want to go over a couple things with you.
No, because I'm very 3 layers. And so I want it to be cold so I can actually wear it. I have no good warm weather. I think if I'll look at it. So
All right.
exactly. I'm busy at club.
So, just a reminder, your final exam, ladies and gentlemen, is on Wednesday, 7:30 in the morning. Just come to class on time. Be on time. If you're more than 15 minutes late to class, you don't get to take the final. You have to find a time to come in and do it some other time. Okay? So be here on time. I'm talking to the wrong half of the room right now, but anyway, be here on time. Okay. You'll do your lab. I gave you the yellow sheets. You will turn this packet in, ladies and gentlemen. The only page that I will grade on it is the very first page, because that very first page is where you're going to put your answers as to what is in which bottle. Okay. And then the back of the first page is where you are going to put your 4 balanced chemical reactions. For the balanced chemical reactions, you can take one precipitate that forms from any 4 of the 6 sets. So you could use one from set 1, set 2, set 3, set 4, or you could mix and match any way you please. Okay? I started to set the lab up in the back for you. I will get it finished. But basically what will happen is there are going to be 3 setups for every one of the labs, for every one of the stations. Now, you can work with a partner on the lab if you wish. If you wish to work alone, you may do that. Okay? So that is your decision, which one you want to do. But by the time you leave class on Wednesday, you need to turn in this sheet with all of your answers on it, and then I will grade it, put it into the grade book, and then that will determine your final grade. Because there's nothing else going into your grade book from where it is at right now. Anything that you turned in last week, I graded. It is all in the grade book. Everything is in there. So your grade right now going into the final is what it is when you look at it, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? We'll go through another sample set today. One of the things you should realize, ladies and gentlemen, is that when you're looking at these sets, set 1, set 2, set 3, set 4, when you're looking at these, ladies and gentlemen, if you see something with nitrate or chlorate in it, it is not going to precipitate with anything. So the silver nitrate and the sodium nitrate in set 1, those things aren't going to precipitate. Okay? So when you get to a set, you're going to see ones that are clear. You're going to see ones that are colored. You're going to see precipitates that form that are colored. You can limit things down using these sheets. These sheets will be out there. I have them up here for now so that you can grab one if you want today when you are working on your predictions and things. You should also probably, ladies and gentlemen, if it were me on my sheet, I would make notes for myself that, this solution is going to be yellow, this solution is going to be blue, this one's going to be pink, so that when you get there, the more organized you are, the quicker it will go for you. Okay? But it is up to you what you want to do. Okay? It is completely up to you. Today and tomorrow, I have nothing planned other than giving you time to work on this. Now, some of you are a lot further than others. So if you're further along and you have things for other classes to work on, if you have other studying to do for other finals, because you're all set and ready to go for Wednesday for me in here, you're welcome to do that. Okay? Questions? Now, the one that I noticed that people are somewhat getting just a little bit confused on, ladies and gentlemen, is when we get to the hydroxide down here on the bottom. Okay? There is one of the stations that has hydroxide in it. Hydroxide precipitates with almost everything, ladies and gentlemen. Almost everything. The things that it doesn't precipitate with are the cations of group 1 and 2. So you're looking at lithium and beryllium on down to francium and radium. Now, we don't have anything with francium and radium in it. Okay? We don't. But you may find things with sodium or magnesium or calcium or potassium in there, possibly even strontium. Those things here will not precipitate. They will not precipitate. They will stay aqueous. But if it's with things like aluminum and cobalt and copper, then it's going to precipitate. So on that set, I believe it's set number 3. Okay, set number 2, there are people who are having a hard time finding the 2 precipitates. They're sometimes finding more. Please be careful with that. The other one that I guess we need to talk about is Chromate is another one of those, ladies and gentlemen, that precipitates with a lot of exceptions. So please make sure you're checking those carefully. Okay? Questions? Okay. All right. So we did this the other day. We went through some things, but let's take a look at this and let's quickly go through a few things here, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So the following compound, tin chloride, is it going to be aqueous or precipitate? Take a minute, look it up, find it on your sheet. Tell me if it's going to be aqueous or precipitate, ladies and gentlemen. We're not doing this as a pair deck because I just didn't want to. Good reason, right? Actually, when I clicked on pair deck this morning, it wasn't working either, but I'm sure it's working by now. All right, Brindley, is this aqueous or precipitate? So here's chlorine. What three things will it precipitate with?
Silver, lead,
Mercury. Okay. All right. Is it with silver, lead, or mercury? So then what's it going to be? It's going to be aqueous. Okay. Take your headphones off, please. Make sure you put away your phones. Make sure you put away your headphones. We're moving, we're grooving, we're doing things now. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Calcium chromate. Calcium chromate, is that going to be a precipitate or is that going to be aqueous, ladies and gentlemen? That is the question. So again, here's chromate, ladies and gentlemen. It is normally aqueous unless it happens to be with one of the exceptions. So is the chromate here with one of the exceptions on your sheet, ladies and gentlemen? What do you think, Brenda? So what will it be then? It will be a precipitate. It will be a solid that settles out of solution, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Questions? All right. How about ammonium carbonate? Ammonium carbonate. Again, carbonate is down here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? So when you put it with ammonium, is it going to precipitate or is it going to stay aqueous? So Daniela, there's our compound, ammonium carbonate. There's our chart. Here's carbonate down here. Will it be aqueous or will it precipitate? No, actually it won't. It's with one of the exceptions here, ammonia. Okay? So because it's with one of the exceptions, ammonia, in this area that means that it will be aqueous. Normally it does precipitate, but when it's with one of the exceptions, it does not. Yeah. Okay, questions? So that one is going to be aqueous. All right, lead chloride. Lead chloride, Rocio. Here's our list. Here's chlorine, second one down here. Normally it's aqueous unless it's with an exception. Is it with an exception that will make it be a precipitate? It is. Lead is one of the three exceptions that if it is with that, it is going to be a precipitate, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Chlorine with lead precipitates. Questions? All right, lithium sulfide. Lithium sulfide. Okay? So here's sulfur down at the bottom. Okay? Nadia, if it is with lithium, Li2S. What? No, it's not. It's going to be aqueous. Here's why. This section, it does precipitate with most things, unless it's with a cation of column 1 and 2. Well, lithium is in column or group number 1, so it's with an exception, so it will actually be aqueous. Okay? It will actually be aqueous. So that's the part you got to be careful of. Which section of this table are you using? Are you using down here where they are normally aqueous and normally solids and we have to check with exceptions to see if it's aqueous? Are we using this part where it's normally aqueous and we have to look at the exceptions to see if it precipitates? Or the good news is if you're at the top, you know it won't do anything with nitrate and chlorate. It will always be aqueous. All right. Lithium phosphate. Okay? Lithium phosphate. So here's phosphate down here. Isha, will lithium phosphate be a precipitate or will it be a aqueous solution?
It would be precipitate.
Isn't lithium in group 1?
Yeah, but it says cation is good for stuff lithium.
Very good. So we've got an exception to an exception here. Normally it's going to be a precipitate unless it's with the cations of group 1, except for lithium, then it goes back to being a precipitate. And since that's what it is with here, ladies and gentlemen, it will be a precipitate. It will be a solid. Questions? All right. So the other day, ladies and gentlemen, oops, that isn't what I wanted. The other day, ladies and gentlemen, we went through and we did this. We started a set. We were going to do this today. We were going to finish this today. So I have 5 solutions up in front of you here. 2 of them are blue, 2 of them are pink. 1 of them is silver nitrate. We know that because the color of the bottle. When you look at the back of the room, ladies and gentlemen, and you are supposed to see silver nitrate at a station, you will see that same color bottle in the back of the room because that is just what happens to silver nitrate over time. That is the easiest one to identify when you get to a station. Okay? Easiest one to identify. So when you get to a station, ladies and gentlemen, you should be able to identify it. Now, I've got 8 solutions here numbered 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay? So right now, ladies and gentlemen, which bottle is the silver nitrate? What number is it? All right. So I now know, ladies and gentlemen, that number 8 is silver nitrate. By the way, get the formula correct. If you get the formula wrong, you will still lose half a point, ladies and gentlemen. And I have had people who on their answer sheet write the names and not the formulas and therefore lose a half a point on every single one. So you are writing on the front page of your lab the formulas, not the names. Okay? All right. So now what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is we are going to try to figure out what is what. The only way we can do that now is by taking and actually going through and testing them. Okay? Going through and testing them. Yeah, let's get this out of the way. So at every station, ladies and gentlemen, there will be a well plate like this. At every station, you will have your bottles of solution. At every station, you will have a sheet like this that is in a plastic protector. This can lay right on top of the bottom table, and it is set up so that it will line up with all of these squares that are on there, ladies and gentlemen. All of them. Okay? So every circle is on top of the square where it should be. Now this one I slid down. Why? Because I don't need this one anyway. Okay? I don't need this one anyway. So you're going to start your bottom row of your well plate even with the bottom row of your table. Now, I try to help you out here. Solution number 6, ladies and gentlemen. This one goes in every spot where there is green. So it's going to go here, 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 and here. So I'm going to take it. I'm going to dispense 1 to 2 drops in each one of these spots. If you put things in the wrong place, guess what? You're going to have a hard time figuring out what is what. Okay? So again, turn it over, 1 to 2 drops in each of those spots. Once I'm done, I'm going to put my cap back on. Why am I going to put my cap back on? So I don't contaminate one bottle with the cap of another. If you do, precipitate will start to form in the bottle, and then we have problems. I'm going to take bottle 7, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to put it everywhere where the yellow is. So the way it works is you start with here, We go here. We don't need it in this spot, and then we're going to go down. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 places where we're going to put it, ladies and gentlemen. Now, are we expecting a reaction between the two blue ones here? Shouldn't be, but I'm still going to put it there. Still going to put it there. Okay. Now I'm going to take my number 8, put it everywhere where there is orange. Take number 9, put it everywhere where there is pink, ladies and gentlemen. If you mess up and put something where it doesn't belong, you're going to have to start over again. You're going to have to clean off your well plate, and you're going to have to start over again. And then I'm going to take number 10 and put it along the bottom in the 4 blue places. Okay, now, in the end, ladies and gentlemen, I was expecting to find 2 precipitates. 2 precipitates. Here is one. We can very clearly see that. And I don't know if you can tell, but this is the other right here. Now, again, the nice part about the lab station is you have a white sheet of paper there. But if you take and slide it off, you've got a black background. You can't get any better than that. If you can't see it on the white black background, check it on the black background. Should be able to tell, okay? And each station, the precipitates are very clear, okay? But people will sometimes not set up all of them. They'll only test a few. Why, I don't know. Okay, maybe they have a plan. I don't know. But it's hard to know if you're getting the right amount of precipitates unless you set up the whole tray. And unless you could see, okay, here's one, there's none here and here. Okay? So we've got one here and we've got one here. This is between 8 and 6. This is between 8 and 9. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, when we go back to our predictions, we expected one between copper chloride and silver nitrate, and one between cobalt chloride and silver nitrate. Those were the 2 that I was supposed to get. Okay? Well, when we look at what we just found, ladies and gentlemen, we've got 2 with number 8. We know number 8 is the silver nitrate. So the question is, which other one was it with again? Well, it was 8 and 6. Okay? 8 and 6. So number 6 we know has to have what in it? Copper. So number 6 has to be the copper chloride, ladies and gentlemen, because that is which copper one is supposed to precipitate with the silver nitrate. So number 6 has to be CuCl2, which means number 7 has to be the other copper, which is copper nitrate. Now we go back and look at our set again, ladies and gentlemen. And 9 and 8 also reacted, which means that 9 has to be the cobalt chloride, because otherwise it wouldn't have reacted with the AgNO3. So ClCl2, that means 10 has to be the cobalt nitrate, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, didn't finish that. And that is what you would put down on the front page of your lab. Those are what in the front page of your lab, it might be E, F, G, H, and I are. Okay? Questions? When you're all done, when you figured out what is what, ladies and gentlemen, you take your well plate over to the sink. You rinse it. Because we're using a very small amount of chemicals, it's okay that they go down the drain, ladies and gentlemen. Dry your well plate. Leave it sitting for the next group. Move on to another station. You're done. Done with that one. Now you can move on to the next one. Okay? Some of you may finish this lab fairly quickly on Wednesday. Some of you maybe work until the end of the hour. Okay? You do what you got to do. But the more that you have done, the more prepared you are, the better off you will be. So if it were me, what I have done is I have looked, okay, for copper chloride. And by the way, I'm going to put things on the side. You want to do them on the top, you're welcome to. I did them on the side. Copper chloride, I go across until I hit the X and then I go down. There is one precipitate. That's why I have a 1 written here. Cobalt chloride, you go across until you hit the X, then you go down. There is one precipitate that cobalt chloride makes. Silver nitrate makes 2 precipitates. Copper nitrate makes none. Cobalt nitrate makes none. You put that on the side. You want? You could do this. Again, your choice. But I definitely would put a note by silver nitrate here too that says gray bottle. I would put a note up here by copper chloride that says it is blue. Cobalt chloride that says it is pink. So that when you get to the station, you are looking for the pink one that reacts with the gray bottle. You're looking for the blue one that reacts with the gray bottle. Make it as easy for yourself when you get in the lab as you can. Okay? Because some of them, I'm going to tell you this. In a few of the stations that you have to do, you may have 2 clear ones that both react with similar things and that both may have the same number of precipitates. That makes it harder to identify. If they both precipitate with 2 things, that makes it harder to identify. If something precipitates with 2 and another one precipitates with 3, well, now I can identify which one worked with 3, which one worked with 2. But you're going to have to figure that out. Sometimes you may be able to figure out which one it reacts with. And then be able to identify that one. And then maybe from that one you can identify something else. It's a big old puzzle, ladies and gentlemen. And the only way to work on it is to actually go in the lab and do it when the time comes. But again, you got to have your homework done ahead of time. All right. Up here, ladies and gentlemen, on my desk are these sheets. If you want to come and take one to your desk, if you want to pull the desk together with someone who you're going to be working with on the lab, you are welcome to. If you want to take this so that you could say, okay, on this station, I need to smell them because there's vinegar in it. By the way, don't go smelling every bottle back there. The only station you need to smell is the one that has acetate in it. Doesn't have acetate in it, you're not going to smell anything in the bottles. Okay? You may want to make note that, okay, if I'm going to make this cobalt hydroxide, it's a blue color precipitate. It's kind of a change because cobalt is pink, yet it's going to turn blue with this stuff. Now, the only way I would do that is if you are going to make that precipitate. But you have a list of them that you're making. So you can see that. Okay? And again, if you need to know how many precipitates in each set, that is up here. Okay? Questions, ladies and gentlemen? All right. You have the rest of the hour to work on what you need to get done. By the way, for those who are here a little bit late today, if you are not here by 7:45 on Wednesday, you will have to come back in the afternoon and arrange a time with me to do the lab. So if you're here before 7:45, you can get started. If it's after 7:45, we're not supposed to let you in the room. You need to make arrangements to finish your exams or your finals some other time. So go to work, ladies and gentlemen. If you need me for anything, I will be happy to help you. Just let me know.
sodium chloride and said. Did you get a mattress last night? No. Good. So I was worried that I just so bad that it could be green. Yeah, I got worried yeah, like.
Oh, hey, one last thing, ladies and gentlemen. Before you can go back and work on the lab on Wednesday, you need to show me all your sets of prediction. So if these are not done, you don't get to go start the lab until you finish these. You can't do the lab without them. Okay? What can I do, Master? Okay. Yes, definitely. What did I just agree to? I thought so. I normally am. You think I'm right too? Okay. Well, at least we can agree on that. Yes. Reaction. Okay. So what we did was we made all these predictions. Okay? And I knew that there were going to be two precipitates involved. They were both going to go with this one. I already knew what this one was. Okay? Right away, I wrote number 8, silver nitrate, because it's the only one that looks like this. I've identified it. Okay? So then we took and we mixed them on our plate. And we found that 8 and 6 made a precipitate. Okay? Well, I know 8 is the silver nitrate. Well, 6 was also blue in color. Okay? So the one that is blue in color that will make a precipitate is the copper chloride. So because it's blue and because it reacted with the silver nitrate, I was able to figure out that 6 had to be copper chloride, which means 7, the blue one next to it, has to be the copper nitrate because it didn't react with it. Okay? So then we did 9 and 10, and we found out that 8 and 9 reacted with each other on the actual plate. So, okay, the only one that will react with silver nitrate is cobalt chloride. Cobalt chloride is pink. So the pink one that reacted with number 8 had to be the cobalt chloride. The other one has to be the cobalt nitrate. Okay? So we use color. We use what it did or didn't react with to identify what they were. Okay? So that's what I mean, where you may have more than one piece. Okay? One piece of evidence. The way we tell these two both react with silver nitrate. So that isn't a way of identifying them. If they were clear, I still wouldn't know which one is which. But because one is blue and one is pink, now I can identify which one they are. Right? You're welcome. What's that? Well, because, okay, how do you know which one of these are actually one up there?
Yeah, I have a, I mean, you just, you have to. You know what Medford is? Yeah. You know, Please tell me so. Weird. Oh, no.
I'll take it. Let's get Can I do that? Can I please do that? Can I analyze you, Cynthia? Please. Okay. All right.
Oh, look at my finger. You know, my sister. What? Wow. Okay, my computer's dead. Where will be that?
Oh my God, it's gonna
Is it? I'm dead.
I told her to, so. I'm gonna single. What?
Actually,
Wow, the ones that are in the group are great.
I'm like, I mean, like, I was like a person.
I'm not. Right here.
Yeah. Boy, what? And now, I don't want to be.
I really don't care.
You literally left school because you needed it. I would work at a cafe. I have zero coffee. I desperately want coffee. Like, very successful. I I don't know. I can. Literally, we both. Like, all you did is make coffee all day. I haven't seen a cat. You would be okay. I know you can, but how are you going to work with that? You don't want to. I just. Because a dog walk is still. It's not even.
A rabbit dog.
Like, it's just. You know, oh my god, my cousin was put it in the face. Died. It was so sad.
I swore. Oh, you just got that.
And then they got it.
You just dropped that.
They had another one. It was younger than and it just gave it to me because it was hated. It literally attacked my baby. It attacked it. It scratched the eyes. For no reason. One of my dogs was sitting there. It's like what? There's no reason. It was just like over there. That's no, I hate them because it's my love.
Yeah, pretty.
And like, it's not even just this stuff. Like,
Someone.
dog literally died because she couldn't get up anymore. Like, bulldogs are super it's like there's one thing that like their feet are where they're like they just I yeah, she had I'm going to be yeah, but that's not what oh that's oh, like, people think that no, yeah. Like, I did not. What? I'm afraid that I just I feel like this is like I don't know. I don't know your parents. I don't understand.
I think I'm adopted.
Maybe my mom. Oh, wait, you want my mom? Oh, no. I'm not saying that.
No, you're not.
And I was like, Stop doing that. What do you want?